Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Let's go.
Time to catch up with the big Pav, Matthew Pavlich. Of course, you can see him on Channel 9 News doing a fabulous job.
Amazing.
Orange tie last night. Very strong orange tie last night. One of my favourites too.
Yeah,
Good morning, Pav.
Strong neck as well he has.
Yeah, I reckon it was it orange or was it more like a sort of a salmon, Shawnee? Maybe it came across the TV like.
I think it was more of a. I thought it was more of a powerful apricot.
What do you think?
You know what? It was apricot. No, that's a good call, Nathan. Now you've mentioned apricot.
Thank you.
Okay.
I was going to go with sunburnt orange, but no, I think apricot is the right terminology.
Yeah.
Well
Okay.
picked up.
No worries, and only real men can wear apricot,
It's a great
Shaun,
point.
as you know.
Do you wear,
on the
do you
edge.
wear apricot, Shawnee?
I'm on the edge, Pav.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Shaun wears an apricot G-banger, but you know.
Hey.
What?
Feels like a glove. What do you do? What do you do?
Especially where the finger goes.
Now, Pav, where have you been this morning? Back from hockey training or something? What's going on?
Yeah, so, well, I mean, Lauren used to play hockey, and so we embraced hockey when Harper, our daughter, so she's year 4 now, she's 9 and into kind of her 3rd or 4th year of hockey, or Minky as it's called.
Yes.
Thank you.
And so our young guy, Will, our little guy, who's not that little, but our little guy has started his campaign, and Jack in the middle has been playing for a couple of years. So we have, on Wednesday mornings, it is chaos. It's hockey bags, it's shin pads, mouth guards, it's school lunches, all in one hit. And today I was with the year 4s, so I was running around testing out my hockey skills, Shawnee. I copped a couple in the shins as well, so I've got 1 or 2 kids on Saturday in my sight to get them back.
Oh, you got him,
Yeah.
mate.
So you're doing hockey training before school on a Wednesday morning?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good God,
Yep,
that's
it.
awful.
Well, I guess
Well,
it's, I mean,
for the parents it is. The kids love it. For the
Yeah.
parents,
Yeah.
swimming families, you know, they're up
Yes,
at half
swimming,
4.
yes, but
Yeah.
hockey.
But
I don't
you know what?
Seems like an after-school activity.
Guys,
I agree, yeah.
it's great to have active kids, but I want to tell you about these magical families where a kid just wants to play his Xbox
Yeah.
and not leave the house.
Or read a book. Don't have to drop them off anywhere. It's amazing.
Hey, Bab, so you said you got it in the shins a couple of times this morning. Shaun spends his morning just stretching. He's just been stretching his bum, as you told me.
Yeah, he
how-
always stretches, doesn't he? Yeah.
How are you going? How's your body going?
Firstly, thanks for asking. Not many people ask these days, Nathan.
No
so I
worries,
appreciate it's
I
great
care.
empathy on
Yeah.
your behalf.
I
You
care.
do care.
He's
Thank
interested
you.
in your bum.
Well, I know his bum doesn't need to be stretched.
No, look, it's in pretty good nick. I try to keep moving, so I'll go for a couple of runs a week. We've got Lauren's at Pilates and physio, so we've got a little setup downstairs.
That's
which I
handy.
find, yeah, I try still to do 1 session a week where I'm actually lifting some weights and stay in reasonable shape. So I think I've said to you guys this before. What I realised for a long time, for 17, 20 years of my life, I got to exercise every day, and it was awesome because you got those mental endorphins and the release and all that. And I started feeling a bit crappy and a bit average. So exercising, release those endorphins. I feel so much better after I do it. So it's certainly become a part of the post-retirement life.
So
Yeah,
Shaun,
no
wait
doubt.
there. So Shaun, so how long ago did you retire, Pav? How long? What was that?
Almost 6 years.
6 years,
Almost
Shaun.
6 full seasons.
So when did the real pain roll in after your retirement?
Oh,
Dave?
exactly on 40, and Pav's on that mark now. I know that. And it was, I tell you what, it was like someone turned a switch on all of a sudden.
I feel like Pab's is living in his la la land and it's coming.
It's coming for you, mate. You'll
I
be ringing
need
boy.
to, I need to get the doctor, the physio, and also your hairdresser because I need to get a rinse through this grey hair that's really starting to develop now.
Well, it works.
nowadays.
A bit of
No,
just
I,
for men.
I like your little streaks of
The
grey. It
salt
makes you
and
look
pepper.
distinguished. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been working on it.
That's
You've
another
got the-
gender gap.
Yeah,
Women, not so much.
Yeah, you
but
got the
men.
Clooney. You got the Clooney's about.
Right,
it. That's
handsome
good.
cat. Hey,
Yeah,
Mav, I want to ask you about, in the paper today they're talking up the possibility of having that Tasmanian team come in as the 19th team in the AFL competition.
Just because the Jack Jumpers went so well.
Well,
in
there you
the
go. It's
NBL.
probably the talk of the town. With your insight into the way the competition is going and reach to the big kahunas across the AFL, how do you see this playing out?
Yeah, I think it's a real possibility. In fact, I think it's going to happen. It's almost inevitable, Shawnee, that we'll have a team in Tasmania. It may not be next year, but it will be soon enough. The government down there have pledged, I think it's 750 mil or thereabouts to build a new stadium. So, they've got real support from from government, from key stakeholders. And I think, after a long campaign from people down in Tasmania and ex-greats of the game, so many great footballers and football people have come from Tasmania. So I think it's inevitable. I don't know exactly the time frame, but I like the idea. I like the fact that we're starting to, continuing to grow the game and include Tasmania. I think Northern Territory is an obvious one as well. What a great team we could have up there as well. I don't know exactly the time frame for that either, but I think it's a good thing. And I think what it does do, and I think I've been an advocate for this for a long time, that less is more. And when I say less is more, less games, or at least just playing everyone once, is the model. And if you get towards 19 or 20 teams, you still get a fair bit of footy. You're playing 18 or 19 games a year. You might play your biggest rival twice, but that's probably enough footy. And then you do open up the door or the avenue for celebrating the women's game more and allowing them more time on the screens when it's sort of wedged in between the seasons at the moment. You potentially allow the opportunity for the under-18 carnival to be highlighted more. We know how big the draft's getting. So more teams, believe it or not, is a good thing, albeit that it does provide the opportunity to play less games.
So you're talking expansion, more expansion teams. What about that notion, they've rolled it around before, of relocating teams? Maybe, Hawthorn's an obvious example because they already play several games in Tasmania. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it makes sense. If you've got one foot in the progressive camp and you're thinking forward, absolutely, there's 10 teams in Melbourne. That's too many, let's be frank. It's not sustainable in 10, 20, 30, 40 years' time when the AFL's bigger and better again. But I also understand the great traditions of suburban Melbourne football and what that has meant. But that didn't say Fitzroy or South Melbourne.
Well, North Melbourne are the ones.
Yes,
North Melbourne got no money.
It's happened before,
Yeah, I think, Nat, you're bang on here in terms of trying to get one of those teams out.
Yeah.
And North Melbourne and Hawthorn are the obvious ones because of their link to Tasmania. But there will be other teams as well. Suburban footy doesn't exist anymore in the AFL. It still exists in amateur leagues and it still exists out in the suburbs, and we need that. Don't get me wrong, that grassroots is really important, but we're talking about the elite level of football and where it's going to be in 20, 30, 40, 50 years' time, and maybe the relocation is the best way to do that.
We should move a team to the Nullarbor. That'll be hilarious.
Tough to grow the grass.
Kalgoorlie, what do you reckon, Nathan? Teams out there?
Mate, they've got a great golf course up there,
They
Pat.
do.
They
There's
can have a
lawn
good
on the
over.
golf course
I'd get
now,
out
which blows
Hey,
my
Reece
mind.
Palmer's playing footy up there, by the way. He used to
Really?
be an old teammate. He's playing at Kalgoorlie.
Yeah, well, who for?
I don't know.
just always say Railways.
The Royals, the Railways,
All right.
The Rams.
This Tasmanian team. So because we know, I feel like with the Jack Jumpers in basketball, they're really scraping the name barrel. So can they be the Devils? Can they be the Tigers? Can they
they can't be the Tigers.
They can't be the Tigers. So
Devils.
there could be
There's
the
no
Devils.
Devils. There's
no reason why
demons,
they can't
but there's
be
no
the Devils.
Devils.
So there could be the Devils.
Yeah.
I don't see anything
Definitely.
else. I mean,
Do you like that name?
Well, I think the Tasmanian Devils. If it's
Yes.
not, if they're allowed to have that, why wouldn't you? That'd be where you go.
Yeah, we've
and then,
questioned-
Has there ever been a team, the Tassie Devils? Has there ever been a...
I don't know.
Shawnee, can you think of one? I can't
No, I'm
think
getting
of one.
that to Google it.
Yeah.
No, but
Amazingly.
I do
Google
have the
for it.
word that Reece Palmer's playing for the Kangas.
Oh, Kangas. There you go.
Thanks, Josie
nice.
Caputo.
Yeah.
Thank you. There we go.
So, but because then if Tassie Devils wasn't taken, then why did the Jack Jumpers? Why were they called Jack Jumpers and not the
It
Devils?
just rolls off the tongue beautifully, doesn't it?
Jack Jumpers. It sounds
Jumpers.
stupid.
Okay,
It
so we got
doesn't
the
sound
Tassie
right.
state team. Harry's just Googling it
What
now.
are they
It's
called?
called the Devils.
Yeah, so you can an AFL team take a state team's name?
Yep.
Well, I think given the fact the government's chipping in $1 billion, I reckon they could probably do a deal.
I think you're right, Pat. I think you're right.
Wow.
So mean.
God, he's smart, isn't he?
Oh, he's onto it. Good on you, Mav. Channel 9 News. You can see the great man.
Love you,
Thanks for your
mate.
time,
Thanks,
buddy.
Pav.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.